Hello everyone, welcome back to another Honkai Impact 3rd video. So with Thelema coming out in the Chinese servers, I wanted to cover some of her main kit and things to consider and so on. So we basically go over her signature stigmata as well as her kit and see what basically sets her out from other Valkyries. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Honkai Impact 3rd content. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Before I start the video, I just wanted to say that I have an Instagram and a Hoyolab account, so if you guys want to support that, I'll put a link in the description down below for my 2 accounts. And basically, if you guys want to support it, I'd be really happy. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so taking a look at Thelema, she's an S-rank ICDPS and will be a great integration to Sinadina support with her Astral Ring. She's a Chainblade user and her newest Sigmatas are the Songwei Tea Party top, Thelema Banquet middle, and Litost Vigil bottom. Some of her leader skills are actually really good. Her leader skill is basically the same as Sinadina, where you need some tags. So her leader skill obviously activates Wheel of Fortune, which costs 140 and has a cooldown of 20 seconds, which is pretty good. 140 is actually really low compared to other Valkyries that have 150. So having 140 is actually really nice. And basically her leader skill activate depending on how many members have Shadow of Drifting Star stag. Basically each time you have a higher number of team members that have Shadow of Drifting Star stag, you'll be gaining more and more bonuses. So if there's one team, you'll be gaining a total damage increase as well, just total damage increase actually, and shadow attack damage as well. And then if you have 2 team members, you'll be gaining ice damage when not in Stellar Outburst, and as well as the Stellar Drain effect. And when there is 3 teams with Shadow Drifting Stars tag, enemies take 15 to 20% depending on how strong Thelema is, how much fragments do you have for her. They'll be taking more ice damage from characters on the field. So this is pretty good leader skill. It's the same as Sinadina, but with different tags and obviously different types of damage. Taking a look at Thelema's passive, she basically collects stacks called feast stacks, and when the stacks are full after evasion, Thelema consumes all of her feast stacks and activates Moment of Indulgence state. So this is a state that basically Thelema goes into, and basically she's going to be dealing a bunch of ice damage when she's in Moment of Indulgence. She also has other passives as well, so more total damage against shield, and more team total damage when Wheel of Fortune is active. This is a Astral Ring. She basically activates that Astral Ring, and so she's going to be dealing more total damage in general. And finally, more total damage when Stellar Outburst is active. Obviously, when she's going to be in Stellar Outburst, you're going to be doing a bunch of insane amount of damage. She also has an evasion passive, where if you don't attack for a while and trigger evasion, you'll be dealing more ice damage and get more ice damage every time she uses an attack that is different than the other attack when you're stacking your feast stacks. So basically what they're saying here is that every time you attack in a unique way, so use different attacks, you're going to be gaining more ice damage, and yeah, basically that's it. You're going to be gaining more ice damage, you're going to be doing more and more damage, so make sure to use different types of attack when playing Telma. She also has more ice damage when Astral Ring is not active, making her really strong in combat even without Astral Ring. She also restores Astral Ring intensity when she's not in Stellar Outburst, so this is pretty good. You'll be gaining that shit really fast when you have her AR active. So really good passives that Telma has, making her a really strong character into the next update. Alright, so taking a look at her basic attacks, she obviously has some sequence attacks, and hers have 3 consecutive attack sequences, and then when the 3rd sequence hit the enemy, she'll be restoring a stack called a feast stack, which improve her self-ignore interrupts. So every time she basically doesn't get flinched, and her basic attack gives total damage increase and more total damage to bio enemies. Obviously, because she's a mech type, you'll be dealing more damage to bio enemies. I think it's 15% total damage to normal ones, and bio is 20%. I'm not really sure, I could be wrong on that. She also has combo attacks. Obviously, when she has all of her feast stacks available, you'll be doing 2 types of combo. You'll be doing ground and aerial combos. If you long press on ground, you'll be launching the enemy up. If you use the aerial combo or long press it, you'll be launching the enemy down, which is very, very normal. This applies to, for example, Herrscher of Flame Xian, or any aerial character that uses the air, basically. There's also 2 types of weapon skills that she has that restores her stack as well. Keep in mind, every single type of attack that she does restores one of her stacks, so combo attack and basic attack as well, and her ground weapon skill and aerial weapon skill. So ground weapon skill basically says after after pressing the weapon button on the ground, she'll be swinging with her blade, and she's going to be dealing a bunch of damage and inflicting rhyme trauma. Rhyme trauma is basically paralyzed trauma, but for ice. So rhyme trauma is really, really good into stuff like into Exalted Abyss, as well as character that kind of benefit from rhyme trauma. So she's kind of a support DPS, a sub DPS, but at the same time she's a DPS because she inflicts rhyme trauma but also deals a lot of damage, which makes her really, really good. Her aerial skill is the same. You'll be dealing a bunch of ice damage and inflicting long rhyme trauma, which is really, really good. Her ultimate is also really fucking strong because it applies a lot of good shit for her. Obviously, all the ultimates do a bunch of, crazy amount of damage, and she's going to be able to restore her feast stacks and will increase her moment of indulgence. So it's basically, moments of indulgence is basically a state that Telma goes into. If Thelema is the leader, her ult will restore SP, which is pretty good. So make sure you have her as a leader, obviously to activate Astral Ring, but at the same time restore SP when using her ultimate. So her Astral Ring is also really, really broken. She gets protected by Wheel of Fortune, and when the Astral Ring is active, Telma gains a bunch of total damage on the field. During Stellar Outburst, she cannot switch out on standby, and she will basically turn all off-exit characters into Shadow Attendants that will help in combat. So you basically are going to be having a 3v1 against the boss, basically. And these guys will deal a lot of damage and give Telema a state called Shadow Dance. So the Shadow Dance, it's basically like Senedina in a way, where you kind of spam your weapon skill to do a lot of damage. It's the same for Telema, and every time Telema attacks, one of these shadow guys will spawn and will restore her feast stack. The more you restore feast stacks, the better for Telema, because you'll be dealing more and more damage, and you'll be going into a moment of indulgence state more every time you stack up the feast stack. And furthermore, the attack multiplier for moment of indulgence will increase depending on the combo sequence. So you'll be dealing a lot of damage when going into Moment of Indulgence. During Stellar Outburst as well, the Moment of Indulgence consumes Quantum Mech energy and restores SP. So you'll be able to gain more SP out of Stellar Outburst when you're in Moment of Indulgence. And the Shadow guys will deal a lot of damage, but the damage type is going to be Shadow Attack. So it's the same as Resonance damage, but instead of Resonance damage, it's going to be Shadow damage. And then when you enter Stellar Outburst, obviously is the same as any Stellar Outburst. You're going to be dealing AoE damage to enemies when you enter it. So obviously Helia, Coralie, and Senedina have the same effect, where when you enter Stellar Outburst, you're going to be dealing AoE damage. And when Astral Ring is active, the team's total damage will increase upon activating Moment of Indulgence, and you'll be dealing more debuff to the enemy as well as total damage. So this is very, very good. She has a lot of debuffs and buffs. She has Rhyme Trauma, she gives shadow damage, she gives total damage, ice damage. So she's an overall really, really good character to have in general, because she applies a lot of good buffs to the entire team, but also she has a lot of good buffs to herself, and her Astral Ring is really, really broken. So really, really good character to have in terms of just a kit in general. She's going to be doing a lot of good shit for you when you will be playing her, basically. So very, very good Astral Ring. So our Stigmatas are actually really, really strong when equipped with Telema. The top one, which is the Sunquay, you'll be dealing a bunch of ice damage if it's not equipped to Telema. But when it's equipped to Telema, yeah, there's a lot of shit. That's a lot of good stuff when it's equipped. So combo attack will increase by 40%, and when Astral Ring is active, every team member with Shadow of Drifting Star tag, Telema gains a total damage increase when Stellar Outburst isn't active. So if you have the Astral Ring active but Stellar Outburst isn't active, you'll be gaining a bunch of total damage, depending on how many Shadow of Drifting Star tag there are on the team. So make sure you use Part 2 characters as much as you can. She's gonna be dealing a lot of damage with Part 2 characters, so if you have that, you're gonna be chill, to be honest. Her mid Stigmata as well is really good. You'll be gaining basic attack and ice damage increase, and when it's equipped to Thelema, enemies will take more ice damage from the host. Additionally, when Astral Ring is active, all team members with Shadows of Drifting Star tag will gain more ice damage when not in Stellar Outburst. So this is a team buff. It's kind of a support Stigmata, like her Stigmatas are like support-ish, but at the same time they're really good because you'll be gaining the total damage as well. So team total damage increases in general is really good, especially for you know, for part 2 characters, because bro, you know, part 2 characters are so broken compared to part 1. Like the more characters that come out in the future, the better it is for you to invest in these characters. Plus, they're all free to play. The Stigmatas are all available in the Foundry, so if you don't want to spend Stigmatas on them, you'll be gaining a bunch of. It'll be easier for you to basically get the Stigmata, so because it's a Foundry. They're all in the Foundry. The Bot Stigmata is also really good. You'll be getting a weapon active total damage increase. So obviously all part 2 characters use weapon actives, so it shouldn't be an issue if you want to use it in other characters. But also it has a really good effect to stuff like Senedina, for example, because when it's equipped to Telma, you'll be dealing a bunch of damage to enemies. So team gains Drink for 2. It's a state basically where it increases the elemental damage and lasts for 25 seconds. And then during Drink for 2 state, when Astral Ring is active, all team members with Domain of Resonance tag will gain total damage and lightning damage. So obviously, Domain of Resonance tag is applied to Senedina, to Helia, and to Coralie. So if you're using these kind of characters, you'll be dealing a bunch of lightning damage. You'll be giving basically lightning damage to Senedina, which is really good, and Helia as well. So usually the team that you want to use for Thelema is Telma herself, obviously, and then Senedina, and then Helia, because both of them have lightning damage, which obviously the bot Stigmata will be helping a lot in terms of damage for the other characters. So pretty good Stigmatas, not gonna lie. They have a lot of utility with Telema equipped to them, so make sure you obviously equip them to Telema because to get these bonus effects. But other than that, overall, the character is broken. The character is actually really broken. But overall, Thelema, broken ass character, definitely worth getting. If you guys keep all of these in mind, you'll be able to do a bunch of you'll be doing really well into like stuff like Memorial Arena or Exalted Abyss, and you'll be chilling. Definitely, Thelema is one of the most broken characters I've ever seen. The amount of passives that she has is really strong, and bro, the buffs that she gives, the buffs that she gets also is really broken, especially with Senedina. So if you have Senedina, definitely try and get her as soon as you can when she comes out, because she's gonna be carrying you guys a lot. Obviously, I did a video a bunch of days before talking about why you should be pulling for Senedina, and Thelema is one of the reasons. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Honkai Impact 3 content. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of Thelema. If you guys are not convinced yet on how broken she is, let me know why, because broken ass character. I've been reading one of her, like when I was reading her kit and what she does, I was so like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's so good. Like, everything about this character is so fucking good, and it makes no sense, to be honest. So seeing that, I'm really happy because she's really cool design wise. And to be honest, I didn't really care about her kit at first because her design was really good. But seeing her kit makes it really worth it to get her. So I'm gonna be saving up my crystals. I think I have like 5,000 crystals right now with all the events that happened. So I'm really excited to get her and basically try and get her as soon as possible. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Honkai Impact 3 content. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.